hit the button. Yes, inmendham video. It's been a while. Yeah, not much going on, so hasn't been much to talk about. And, frankly, things here are just, I won't bother going into it. Yeah, I'll just imply something. That's even worse. Just people disappointing. Yeah. Anyway, the world is just turned into a scumbag. Pretty much. But anyway, I just hate that. I really don't like being alive anymore. I'm really so over it, so to speak. I mean, look, it has these little moments, little sensual splendors. What was the name of that movie? Something in the sun. Splendor in the grass. Yeah, so you have these little splendor moments. But, the rest of it is just this. Yeah, no good. Anyway, so I've been doing some physics video, and Bill Nye, I watched a couple of his videos, and apparently he's written a book on evolution. It's sort of off his usual tact. But I'm just thinking, it's probably just another Dawkins thing, another greatest show on earth kind of bullshit narrative, of what evolution is. And just think of 500 million years of creatures going ouch, and all the attrition. Evolution's the Civil War forever. And that's what it is. A little tiny number of winners, a big giant sea of losers. Fuck. Anyway. Alright, so I'll try to be I'll try to wind into the video now. So, Dana Garrett, okay, a guy I really don't like much. But, I still, if he posts a video, I watch it. This kind of, he's a philosophy type, all the verbiage and the rhetoric and all that kind of shit. Well, anyway, he made a video in his car, so I won't even post a link to it because it's just pretty hard to watch. It's so much noise. But anyway, he was just talking about this idea of proof or confidence, or what defines belief, legitimate belief, real belief, what distinguishes it. And he quoted Plato quoting Aristotle or something, and talking about how for belief to mean anything, it has to be tethered to something real. He described it sort of like a sculpture, and the sculpture will run away. It's like a sculpture of a dog, and the dog will run away if you don't have it tethered to something, tied, leashed. And then he was basically arguing that the defining moment in rhetoric, in argument, is when you resort to some argument that defeats the whole purpose of conversation or contemplation. In a sense, I'm paraphrasing. This is not the way he said it. But it sort of defeats the purpose in the sense that you end up attacking the very idea of perception, the very idea of acquisition of knowledge. And that once you've attacked that, you might as well just say there's no point in having a conversation about anything, because now you've taken some kind of skepticism to some sort of extreme that just blows up the whole idea of thought itself, realization, thinking. You just might as well not do any of it. Once you've gone there, once you've attacked the very source of knowledge. And then my argument is that belief and legitimate confidence and assertion, absolution, integrity, these things are derived through the process of trial by evidence, just like a trial for some kind of crime, and that the conviction has more legitimacy the more evidence it's based on. So the more evidence you have corroborating the conclusion, defending it, justifying it, establishing it, pointing to it, the more credible the confidence, the more credible the statement of belief. So, you could use examples like religion has almost no credibility, and any confidence you have has to be based on some notion that I actually believe I've spoken to God, and I've actually felt Him speak back to me, and so that would be legitimate testimony. It would be legitimate for your own confidence because it's evidence you have that nobody else has access to. But outside evidence is almost zero, right? I mean, it is zero. It's a story like any other UFO story, unidentified walking object. It's walking on water object. It's just a fucking story. It's just some kind of bullshit. And it's 1,000-year-old story, which makes it even more ludicrous because we know that people can't even, like 10 people witnessing a bank robbery, those 10 people will not testify to the same thing happening, which is, and here we're believing people 2,000 years ago, in their testimony, of the Walking Dead. Please. And the evidence besides that is what? Absolutely zero. Nothing. No evidence whatsoever of intelligent design. Again, you can just talk about how close anuses are to vaginas. You could just take up some close-up pictures of your hair follicles. There's so many things you could do and just say, oh, gross. Take a video of inside your ear or up your nose, and you'll figure out that now intelligence didn't make that. Please. Anyway, okay. So I'm just arguing that the trial is this. So the obvious from my perspective is that if you're going to say, okay, what's the origin of life, you're going to say, shit, yeah, evolution wins by 1,000,000 credibility points. It's the only rational conviction. It's the only rational verdict that can be applied based on the evidence. And it's not just that it's rational, it's beyond credible attack. It's beyond credible contradiction. It's beyond credible doubt. It is certain knowledge. The evidence is so overwhelming that that's our origin. And there's just no credibility to any other belief. It just doesn't have any credibility. It's nonsense. It's fucking leprechauns. It's just fucking made up bullshit. So, I don't know if there needs, I need to go into this too elaborately, but people have sort of mocked this notion that I have that this is a trial, that you're just putting things on trial, and the amount of evidence dictates how credible the belief is. And I just don't see anything wrong with that as being the sensible standard. Just point out how the evidence is not as strong as it appears, or as strong as people are assuming it to be. And so sort of in this physics argument, I'm making this counter argument. The evidence, of wave function being built into photons is meager, tiny. It's almost insignificantly small. It's so tiny. It's the weakest possible almost evidence. And that a lot of the conclusions of physics, a lot of the things there, people like Akaku will say, Michio Akaku would say, is that it's proven fact, that it's beyond doubt. Relativity, these things, they said this is a law of physics now. It's not even a theory or a hypothesis or anything. No, it's a law. It should be established as law. I don't think that the evidence is there. Conclusive evidence. And, I don't even think it's... I don't even think it's intuitively sensible as a conclusion. You know, especially when you start seeing the Copenhagen interpretations and all these bizarre interpretations of what's going on. They start talking about their wormholes and their bullshit. You're just like, this is so weak an argument, and it's based on so little, and these are the ones we know about. You know, they talk about these thousands of particles they've discovered in their accelerators, and I just wonder how credible any of the existence of any of these things are as realities, if this is what they think is good enough evidence to establish something as a truth. Just really piss poor. And so then here I make an argument, you know, maybe about life or psychology, and I point out how most of the goods in the world are basically fixing bads. Most of the pleasure derived by organisms is satisfying a native addictive condition. But there aren't any real problems. There's all these manufactured problems. And they're manufactured by the condition. And that's what we're doing. We're calling it good because we're pulling ourselves out of quicksand we should never been thrown in the first place. I think there's a lot of evidence that that's all life is. Life is treading quicksand and hoping you can grab onto a piece of something and float for a while until you sink for the final time. But that's pretty much what's going to happen. You're going to watch the shit you love. You're going to watch it tragically brutalized. And then eventually it's going to be your turn to be tragically brutalized. This isn't a good thing. That's an outrageous conclusion by some people's opinions. That verdict, this isn't a good thing. That verdict is totally inappropriate somehow. Somehow I'm supposed to watch the things treading quicksand and then being pulled under. I'm supposed to witness that and say, yeah, this is all a good time because I orgasmed a couple of times. I jizzed in my pants a couple of times. So it's all worth it. What? Fucking people. So, yeah, that's probably enough of a video. But I think this trial by tethered to reality fire. You know, how tethered is your conclusion to a set of strong, big, hard, granite facts? You know, and I just think we have those. Evolution being one of the most monstrous. I mean, it blows up matrix bullshit. It blows up almost everything when you just take it as this understanding of evolution. It just takes away all the intelligent design crap. It takes away all the intent things, because evolution is fucking Adolf Hitler. I mean, fucking, it's not even Hitler's too nice. It's Mengele. It's not even Mengele, because it doesn't even have, like, Mengele had some ambition to create the New World Order. I mean, Mengele's ambition was that yes, what I'm doing is a little nasty, but the future is going to love it. It's going to be so great, all the stuff I'm going to learn. There's not even that in evolution. It just isn't. It's just a nasty, brutal, horrid competition for a Twinkie. A rancid Twinkie. I mean, there's just nothing. There's no prize for this insidious slop, except a new designer dog. It's pitiful. So, I think that's enough of a video on this subject. I didn't have any whole thought out thing. I don't, you know, Dana's idea that you really can't, once you start attacking the credibility of our sense of time, our sense of reality, our sense of being able to see things in the world, yeah, you might as well not have a conversation anymore. That makes sense. But I think it makes more sense. I think it was about better argument that what you have to tether a conclusion to is as much factual evidence as possible. Collect as much as possible. Get as many little blood samples and fingerprints and footprints and photographs and all the evidence you can possibly collect is what makes a statement credible. And I'd say that a lot of the statements people are making have no credibility because there's almost no evidence. The evidence is so thin, so weak, so fragile, so subject to the statement that can be interpreted some other way. Anyway, yeah, it's probably enough. So till the next time and such and so forth and whatnot. Yeah, there's some other video somebody posted me a link to, but the guy gets like 15 views on his videos, and he's just so horrid. I barely watched a tiny percentage of the video. It's called "For the Love of Wisdom." Yeah. Well, anyway, so he's making some argument against Benatar, but I just haven't. It's got to be just so bad. You're just like, why should I even bother? He calls it the double standard behind Benatar's asymmetry argument. The very idea of saying the double standard between an argument about asymmetry. I mean, quite obviously, Benatar's whole point is that the reality has the double standard. Reality didn't give us a real good. It just gave us, I'll take the whip away. I mean, that's the bogusness of life, is I'll take the whip away. And I'm supposed to say thank you. No, I'm going to say fuck you for putting the whip there in the first place. Fuck you. Shit. It's got ads on it too, which is, videos with 20 views. It's got ads on it. It's just a little bit lame. Anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to bother with that. I mean, it's not a point to bother. But otherwise, yeah, there's just nobody saying anything. There's some idiot, some guy, whatever, 827. I have to take him off my whatever it is, this indexy thing. So I apparently have him still listed here. But he's just useless. I mean, this is like the lamest video ever made in the history of, in bold text. Fuck vegan games. Fuck this asshole. And I know what his complaint is? He makes me feel guilty. I mean, you can't get lamer than that. The argument from he said things. Not that he some way and personally punched me in the face. Not that he somehow restricted my freedom. No, he made an argument that somehow might affect my brain. Oh, what an offensive thing to do. He called me an asshole. How horrid. And this is a guy saying, fuck this asshole. I mean, shit. I don't even know how this, I don't know. Maybe there's some guy, I don't know. Maybe he made video sometime about, he did something stupid and it went viral. I don't know how it has any subscribers. He's just a creepy, stupid motherfucker. And the fake iconery. I really hate that shit too. Anyway, I just hate people more than usual. I qualified my statement. I hate them more than usual. Yeah, okay, that's enough. Till next time.